Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to Cafe Cheshme's ambient music night.
Oh, I was about to say Cheshme TV.
Ah, that too.
Cheshme TV です。
Cheshme TV. We've been inside all day today, and so we're a little fuzzy, I think, from sitting around today. A little fuzzy. But we are so happy to be here tonight, and we've got some really exciting music that we're going to share. Yeah.
今日はアンビエントな夜です。ちょっとね、ゆっくり聴けそうな音楽を集めております。
So super excited about this. So if you haven't seen the Cafe Cheshme ambient shows before, we feature ambient musicians who do a wide variety of different styles of ambient music from all over the world. And tonight we have an amazing lineup of both local and international artists.
Hello, Lex. Hello, Kura Kelly.
Hi, Lex. Hi, Kelly. Welcome, welcome.
そう、アンビエント音楽っていうと日本だと雰囲気のある音楽か。アンビエントな。アンビエント。music.
そうですね。Ambient doesn't necessarily mean relaxed, though. In our case, it's music that takes you into spaces in the creator's mind, so you can kind of exist in their space for a little while.
そうね。別世界に行けそうな音楽を
Hi Cheryl, welcome.
集めてます。Hey Cheryl. 店でもやってたし、オンラインでも結構 How many times they've done this now?
I think this 7th or 8th time.
結構やってます。
And it's one of my favorites because I have a love for ambient music, and the artists that have been on these shows have been really brilliant and amazing, and I think tonight's another one of those opportunities to hear some really incredible artists.
はい。
Yeah. So who have we got tonight?
Tonight we have 3 musicians. First one's a 100名。100名ってわかる ?100名、What does it mean?
100名 100th
100
person. I don't. Yeah.
Okay. 100 eyes.
100 eyes. 100名。
100の、そう、目。100名ね。
そうね。
そう、100名さん。
100 eyes.
そう、目が100回。
いいね。
Then Hello 1103, our favorite
Yeah.
sound and visual duo.
Yeah, they are amazing. We've been able to see them perform live before this whole pandemic
見せてよ
madness
くやっ
started.
てもらってね。We often have them at the cafe.
So incredible performance as well as a beautiful, amazing music.
今回もこのショーのために撮ってもらいました。オリジナルで。
そうだね。
ありがとうございます。
あとは
Then we have the special Ashley Scott, Cat Fingers, from Australia, Sydney.
And this is Cat Finger's second appearance on Cafe Cheshme.
Never had interview before.
Yeah, first interview, second time for music.
Yeah, he doesn't show up usually, but yeah. Thank you.
So we're really looking forward, and I think Ashley may actually chime in on the thread later to answer questions or say hi.
今日は3組お届けします。日本、オーストラリアね。日本は初100名さんとヘロ110さん。
いいね、いいね。
いいデートですよね。That date when we open Cheshme too.
ね。So you have an announcement that you wanted to make or something you wanted to share tonight before we get started?
No, I wanted to. That's just the news.
Ah, okay. What do we want to share?
You have the image. That's a short. That's a contest for the short movies. If you don't have any cameras, you can just shoot something with your phone. It's up to 25 minutes.
Okay.
Then I thought people can just see their life inside the house too. Your worries とか doesn't have to be something spectacular.
I think the idea is really wonderful. Short shorts, to be able to make films on your own and then share those out. It's wonderful.
Anybody can be an artist these days, and you have your phone. So why don't you try?
Ina.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
So if you're interested, check out this URL. We will also be putting this out on the website so you can see.
Yeah, Japanese or English, you can just make something. Documentary でいいじゃない? Short documentary. I'm stuck in the house. In the underbelly of this ホーナンちゃん
A film noir story of being stuck in the house. Hey, Ashley. Ashley's out there now
Hey,
too.
Ashley.
Good evening.
We're just talking about short shows. You can join too.
Ina.
Yeah, we might join with some Halloween stuff.
All right, let's do it. So first up tonight, we have Hyakume.
100名
So, without any further ado, let's get started with the music tonight, and we'll kick off with Hyakume.
登場 うんどう
That was
How was
amazing.
it? He's making all the videos by himself too, and
Wow.
sound and everything.
I love the diversity of influences that were there. There were so many different influences in the music.
和風よね、ちょっと。Kind of Asian Japanese.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, bringing in, some sort of dance genre, kind of rhythms and patterns as well, and the sampling patterns. Really nice. Wow, 100名ありがとうございます。
いろんな影響が入ってて面白かったです。映像も綺麗にできてる。
Mm-hmm. The videos were really beautiful. I love the sense and the timing of everything was so gorgeous.
よくできてる。
ね。
So if you'd love to see more, it's YouTube.
Yep.
100目と入れていただければ。
So if you enter Hyakume, you'll find him straight away.
出てくると思います。
Yeah, so get out there and support. I think that the work is just brilliant, and I would love to hear more. And I hope Hyakume-san, you'll come back and join us again sometime soon. Yeah.
またよろしくお願いします。
So coming up next, we have Hello 1103.
Hello 103.
Which we adore. I think the first time we saw them, they set up these projectors, right?
最初はいつだったんだろう。店に来たのかな。
2018, maybe 2019.
多分 introduced by Ogu とかかな。
Yes, Ogu-san, arigato.
Uh-huh.
Ogu-san always introduces us to so many amazing artists, and Ogu-san is a brilliant artist in and of himself. But we credit Ogu-san with introducing us to a lot of the ambient artists that we've met.
He did his own ambient event, Tenbient.
Yep.
阿佐ヶ谷かなでやってて、今はちょっとね、難しいんですけども。
And on one of those events, we had Hello 1103 in, and they turned the space into a completely different environment with their music and with the visuals, and it was really quite incredible. And they're wonderfully amazing people.
First time I think they brought 2 projectors.
Yeah, I think so.
天井に移しましょうか。
And actually, throughout the evening, they kind of repositioned them too. So they were casting these moving images that were, kind of at one point made us feel like standing in the cafe was underwater.
面白かったね。
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we should get the new projector too.
on our
欲しい
list.
かも。
But they are a wonderful duo, and we've had them on the show before, and I think this is really exciting to have them back again.
いつもね、so how we know they're busy with actual life, but they always make the new stuff for the show.
Yeah, I mean their creativity seems boundless. Every time we've seen them or every time we've heard new material from them, they've gone into new space and excited us with something completely fresh.
そう今回もわざわざ作っていただいちゃった。いつもありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。So I think with no more delay, we will get into Hello 1103. Beautiful.
よかったね。
Hello
よかった。
1103.
We were so curious about the touch screen.
Yeah, I love looking at their setup, the modular and the touch panel to control the computer.
あのタッチパネルは何？
You have to send some questions.
あれは何？
It's so cool. I love how just beautiful, and every single time I hear new and interesting things in Hello 1103's music.
We have to go to their studio.
Someday.
When or if.
But the thing that I find so amazing is we get a chance to see their videos, and we watch their videos, and the music is so incredible, and the sound quality is so amazing. And then, you know, we've seen them live, and the sound quality is the same. It's unbelievable that they can bring what they do to the recorded work to a live space and make it sound just as amazing as a high fidelity recording. It's brilliant.
ヒロさんはレコーディングでもライブでもほぼ変わらないもんね。どっちを見てどうっていうかね、全く同じように再現して、なんだったらライブ会場の方が VJ がいい気がする。広がりがある感ね。Yeah, VJ looks better at the live place because of the whole room they can do.
Yeah, it's immersive. It's like you're in their music, which is pretty astonishing, and that's been true every time we've seen them play.
でも今回みたいなインティメットフィーをお家で2人で作ってる感じも
like visiting the studio ね。
よかったです。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Hello 1103.
いつもありがとうございます。
And we'll do some shout outs. Giselle and the bear.
Out. Giselle.
Giselle and the Barefoot Clan are out there tonight, and Dale's doing pizza. And Dale, we're still gonna as soon as it's safe, we're gonna invade your space and get some pizza.
When can we see Dale's pizza?
Nah.
あ、ヘロさんが。
Hello, san. ありがとう。
ありがとうございます。いつもね。
素晴らしい。
お、素晴らしい日本語で言った今。
Because their music requires 素晴らしい. That's the only word that fits.
Please say take out. Please say take out, please.
なんで持ち帰りなんで
スムーズに言える。素晴らしいと持ち帰りをスムーズに。
Yeah, those are my words. Though I don't use 素晴らしい very often. That's really rare. Ooh, Joan's making eggplant curry. Okay, Joan, we're gonna come to your place too.
Eggplant curry?
いいね. That sounds
Aren't you
good.
close, Joan?
Okay, show's over. We're going to Joan's. So next we have, Ashley's out there, but we weren't entirely sure about the connection tonight, so we pre-recorded the interview with Ashley.
Yes, he hardly take the interview, but for some reasons he said, okay, this time.
And it was so fun to get together with Ashley and have a chance to chat and just get to know him better and hear more about his process and his thoughts about the music.
Surprisingly sweet person. From his music, it's a bit, tense sound, so I thought maybe a bit, but he's hello.
Such a nice guy, amazingly nice guy. So
yeah, you cannot decide from the package.
Yeah. But the music is incredible, and I think it's going to be quite interesting for everyone tonight to hear.
So
Ashley,
Cat Fingers インタビューと音楽があります。インタビューが取れたてなもんで特にそうサブタイトルとかつけてないんですけども、音を楽しんでいただければ。
じゃあ。With no more delay, here is Cat Fingers.
So today's last but not least performer, Cat Fingers.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Yeah, No, it's great to be here. It's an honor to be on the show again.
So we would love to hear a little bit about you before we get into the music tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Uh, sure. Yeah, I live in Sydney, Australia. Well, just outside of Sydney, Australia now. Was born here, never really moved, never really left. But yeah, I've been playing in bands since my teens, and just kept on doing that for a few decades, and then working in a home studio, training as a sort of broadcast sound engineer, and then working in the IT industry, I suppose, for a while in government and academic kind of areas. That's keeps you occupied, fills up the decades. Yeah. So
That's wonderful. So how did you actually first we didn't say your name yet. Let's say
Sorry.
so this is Ashley Scott. So we were very curious about how you arrived at the name Cat Fingers, because I absolutely love that name.
It came from I was being a tourist in Europe with my partner, and we found some traditional, I think, German, Hungarian chocolates. We were in Budapest at the time, called cat tongues, which are kind of like chocolate wafers. And somehow that, in my mind, or in between us, that became Cat Fingers through some sort of banter or something, and that name kind of stuck. Initially just as a sort of a name for some little short film soundtracks, and then as I started recording more tracks, I guess like what we'll hear tonight, that became the band name, the virtual band name, I suppose.
We love it, and we've got a lot of
awesome name.
Yeah. We've got a lot of cat fans over here who I think are going to be quite excited to hear Cat Fingers. A little bit before we play your music tonight, we were talking a little bit about how it's made after we heard it, because there's a lot of interesting things going on there, and we would just love to hear.
It's I suppose the simplest answer to that, I guess, is it's mostly MPC, like an Akai MPC, a sampler and sequencer with performance capabilities, that things get sampled into that and then messed around with and then recorded into some sort of music software, like a multi-track software, and then worked on over and over in that as well. So it has a sort of an improvisational basis, perhaps, in that, that sounds kind of good, and then it just sort of builds in layers, I suppose, which I think is a fairly common way for people to work. That I have this, and then that sounds good against that, and it sounds good a little bit off, a little bit off kilter or out of an exact rhythm, and with a percussion track or something just laid on top, and then things get thrown away, other things get added. So it's not all. It does start outside the computer usually, which is kind of nice in some sort of piece of probably very old music hardware, usually like a couple of very old samplers and the MPC. So
wow,
I'm terrible at keeping track of the actual process.
But that might be an indication of the more inspired approach that you're taking.
That's why your music sounds so organic, like breathing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I think I don't like really over regular or perfect kind of rhythms or things like that. I mean, I think that since I was a teenager, hip hop has been a really big thing in that, especially very unquantized, very hand sort of tapped out beats, where they haven't perfected and cleaned everything up. That's been a really big something that was stored up in my head from a fairly early age, I think, and it comes out even though it's quite divergent from that sort of music, you know. It's definitely a basis for it, I think. Yeah.
And so where does a lot of your inspiration come from?
Probably just for some reason or other, some particular chunk of audio gets sampled, like something that I hear, I think, oh, that'll kind of work. Some sort of detail from a released track, or, you know, I do a lot of, I cruise archive.org for like easy listening tapes and background tapes that people upload there. Or I have a fairly huge cassette collection from thrift shops, op shops, that and you just listen through it, be they motivational tapes or you know, 10 Million Strings playing the greatest hits, or you just sort of listen through it, and it's not like suffering or anything. It's just like something will strike the ear that you think, yeah, I'd not that I can use that, or it's more like I would like to play with that, see what I can do with that, perhaps. You'll hear something brilliant on the TV, some brilliant piece of dialogue, or just something blurts out, you know, it's just like, that's just great. I've really got to use that. It's kind of like almost like journalism. And of course, if there's something on TV now, it's very easy to go back and find it on YouTube or something as well, usually, if it's good. So you don't have to be sitting there like with a tape recorder, which is something that I actually used to do a little bit of in the 19, or it is a bit like, just waiting for something to, you know, some sort of material to appear, you know.
So I've got to ask you a question. You mentioned old samplers, and coming from that background too, I'm so curious what old samplers you're using.
Oh, okay. Well, the chief one is probably, well, I guess maybe not that old. It's actually an Akai, an MPC 1000, which was a sort of an MPC for the masses. That's from about 2004, which is the full standalone package. But in terms of samplers, there's one that Peavey made in the early 90s, the guys who make guitar amps and guitars and things, that is quite, it's called the SP, and it's quite brilliant in that it has things in it that don't make any real sense at all, like ways of randomly playing back a sample segmented. So you can just say, I have this sample and I want to sort of assign, or I want to just say that it could start at any of these 64 points anywhere within the sample, and it could just randomly select those.
Wow.
That's quite good for that's quite good for just generating just silly, or just stuff you wouldn't thought of. And then there's an older Emu sampler, which is kind of cute. And though, you know, editing a lot of these with the little tiny little display can get a little bit tedious. and a couple of Akai samplers. I mean, nothing worth its weight in gold. Like some of these things seem to be just so expensive nowadays. But just some sort of early 2000s sort of, I guess, drum and bass era, like a S3000, something like that. Yeah. So, I guess having been trained in a studio that actually still had tape machines, it's kind of nice to have your working process to put together a track, or just to be messing around with sounds, involves actually saving something on a disc, taking it to another machine, putting it into that machine, or even having to dump it to tape, cassette tape, or a Zoom recorder or something, then actually resample it. It's you do that for a few days and you're very, very happy to get back to a computer. I think
that's wonderful.
But it does I guess it's kind of like those obstacles that are good to re-experience. And it's just like, hey, this was actually the way it was done, or the way we used to do it. And if it forces you to work slower, and even perhaps it puts you in a different mindset, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks for sharing that.
No, that's.
I'd like to ask, maybe give us a bit of an introduction for what we'll be seeing tonight.
Yeah, well, it's a selection of tracks. There's an EP that I recorded at the beginning of the year, and I've only just sort of decided, that's okay. That can go out on Bandcamp now. That was 3 tracks, all of which are in the mix tonight, and then there's interspersed with another 3 tracks that some of them go back a way, 5 years, 2 or 3 years, things like that. And some of them suggest or tell a little story, I suppose. And that is kind of the feature. Some of them are a little more textual. One of them in the middle, Again Goodbye, is from a period when I was listening to way too much vaporwave music, which I found, which I loved as a sort of a completely internet genre of music that probably really had some sort of golden age, maybe, that was 6 months or a year. Just great. I mean, to be able to take something that invoked just some very banal piece of music, like I think this is based on a few phrases out of an old 70s folk song from a cassette, country and western song. But to make something, to try and get to that vaporwave ideal, where there's something that's so intensely nostalgic for something that you've never experienced and happened before you were born, even perhaps for some of its fans, but to kind of somehow zero in on that, invoking that particular emotion. That was an attempt there anyway.
So Ashley, can you tell us where people can get your music?
Bandcamp. Yeah. Bandcamp. And there's also SoundCloud as well. Yeah. And that's got a just total mixed up bag of stuff from the past decade on it, but might be fun. I don't know. Or not.
Yeah, check out that catfingers.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
So with no further ado, shall we play Cat Fingers? Okay,
Thank you.
rolling.
Go to the window, draw the curtains, go to the door, close the door. Go to the window, draw the curtains, go to the door, close the door, then come back and sit down. Go to the window, draw the curtains, go to the door, close the door, then come back and sit down. Now, open your eyes. Trust me. Look at me. There are no thoughts in your mind, no fears. Trust me. I can help you. Don't think of anything. Forget. There is nothing to remember. Just close your eyes and forget. Forget. Forget.
Now you're not seeing it. I hope you will. There they are. What you're seeing. There she is. I have no idea. You should know your signal's breaking up. I'm not going to say any more at this time. Until we have a better idea of what exactly has taken place. There's just one last thing.
What's your favorite color? Question 2. What's your earliest memory? Question 3. Are you a good person?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me again. And it's always, it's always surprising. It's a privilege, and it's an amazing chance to hear other people's work and to present my own, because
Sure.
it doesn't get out that much.
You should. But yeah, thank you for
Thank
sharing your
you.
creativity again.
Thank you.
So this has been Cat Fingers, Mr. Ashley Scott from Australia.
Sydney.
And we're back. Ashley, thank you. And thank you so much for
Thank you so
chiming in
much.
with the titles
Yeah,
for
with the
us tonight.
titles. We are passionately talking about the clothes. Back in 70s, clothes.
Yeah. The music was so amazing. The last video when I was watching it earlier today when I was setting up the stream,
Yeah,
I was getting a bit mesmerized by that movement.
the building.
Yeah.
That's 2 buildings?
I don't know,
Merged in?
that's so cool.
Is it 2 videos?
I just love that the all the motion, and
Mm.
it's just quite captivating. But I love Ashley's style. Ashley, your style is amazing. It's so lovely.
Question 3. Are you a good person?
Yeah. I think the first one with the guy who's hypnotizing somebody, that
Mm-mm.
classic vintage cinema voice is, you just get sucked into that.
I'd love to hear that before going to bed. Just
Nah. That was brilliant. That
You
was
got to,
Cat
yeah.
Fingers.
I
And
don't know how, but yeah.
That was really, really amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So tonight we've had a really amazing lineup of artists.
うん。
Once
よかった
again,
ね。
yeah, going down the rabbit hole with all these amazing sounds of ambient music.
今日も気持ちよい音をありがとうございました。
So what's next week? Or next time? Week after next?
Week after next, Creative Challenge!
Why?
わー Who's gonna join? Who's gonna join? So the reflecting skin or the edge.
Yeah. And that's going to be a fun night. The Creative Challenge, if you're not aware of what that is yet, we put out a couple of ideas. And those ideas, folks can do music, performance, dance, anything, as long as it kind of encapsulates one or both of the themes. And
Yeah, like Joan. Yeah, like poetry or, spoken word.
so we absolutely love the creative challenges because the interpretations of the themes are wildly different.
Yeah, that's very inspiring, actually.
And without revealing anything, some of the back end chatter for this next one, the interpretations really went in very different directions so far, I think, with what people are thinking. Yeah.
You know something I don't know?
A little bit, maybe.
Okay.
Well, on that note, folks, that's our show tonight.
そうクリエイティブチャレンジというのをやってまして、いつも 2,3 ヶ月に1回テーマを決めて曲とか絵とか詩とか何でもいいんですけど送っていただいてます。9月が Reflecting Skin 反射する肌とエッジ、崖っぷちでもいいし刃物でもいいしどんな撮り方でもいいんですけれども、もし興味があればぜひ送ってください。わからないことはメールください。
いいね。
Just in case
Just in case.
somebody's interested.
Yes. So, thanks again tonight to
Thank you.
初目
100目。
100名ごめん100名と Hello 1103
Yes.
and Cat Fingers.
Yes. ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます. And thank you for everyone for watching and joining us tonight and getting involved in our weird back channel chat.
I enjoy that
So much
very
fun.
much.
And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Stay safe.
Stay safe, please.
And hope to see you all soon.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, creative challenge.
どうしよう。
ね
Have to do something. Yeah.
じゃあ、ありがとう。みんなありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。